With the release of the Switch 2, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet got an update that makes it feel like a new game completely. The update brought some performance fixes to make the game run smoother than the Switch could ever dream of. Now, I never got to fully enjoy Pokemon Violet when it initially released because I would usually get motion sickness after around 15 minutes of playing. So, I decided I wanted to replay the game just to see how it felt on the Switch 2. And I didn't want this to be a normal playthrough because I've done enough of those already, so I got to think about how I could perhaps change things up. Then I remembered, this update also allows more Pokemon to spawn. It would be perfect for a badge quest. And sure, Violet may not be the ideal first game to do a badge quest in, with it having 10 more badges than your typical Pokemon game, but I figured if the shiny hunting improvements were as good as people had made them out to be, that wouldn't much matter. Now, a few clarifications on some rules I followed throughout this. So the first one, I didn't get the shiny charm at any point during the playthrough, but I did use a few hunting methods, such as outbreaks, sandwiches, and Masuda method. Now, I don't know if anyone believes that this is not going to count now because they weren't all at the full odds, and if it doesn't technically count, then I'm fine with that. But I just figured it would be interesting to mix some things up and try out different hunting methods, because I kind of wanted this to be a test as well, just to see how well shiny hunting would go even without the charm. And another rule that I decided I would follow is that if I caught a duplicate or found one after I had already found the shiny for the badge, I would catch it, but it would not count. As you'll see coming up, there were a few times where stuff like this happened, whether it was a duplicate that I found and chat decided I should keep hunting to get something new, or in between badges I accidentally ran into a second shiny. But that's about it for the rules I followed, so hopefully enjoy the Pokemon Violet Badge Quest movie. The first night of the Badge Quest was kind of a test run for how this whole series would play out. I spent most of the stream playing to a point where I could actually start shiny hunting, and then spent the rest just seeing how long hunts would take at the base 1 in 4096 odds. Not too long into the hunt, one of my mods, known as Milotic Melons, which you should check out, asked me to go on the eShop and look at a certain genre of game. I'm just gonna call this Luigi content. Okay, this is Luigi content. You can play Luigi Golf. Luigi Golf. Moving forward, we're just gonna censor this to Luigi content. Keep this in mind. It'll be important later. After taking a little break to browse the eShop, I went back into the game and, well, I kind of hope that I can find... As I'm saying it, I was gonna say I kind of hope I do find a shiny. Shiny Shinx! The first shiny in Pokemon Violet on the Switch 2 for me. Not in the world. People have had this system for like 2 weeks before me. You need me? Don't. That's a problem. You don't want to need me. Oh. Okay. Anyways. Shiny! From there, I decided to take on the first badge. I decided I would take on the Titan Cloth battle first, even though technically it's the second badge in terms of suggested order. It was closest, so I figured I'd go for it. During this fight, I did kind of cheat and use my starter, because I was honestly just tired and wanted to end the stream. Looking back, kind of wish I would just save that for when I was able and willing to do it with the Shinx. But, you know, it's a lesson learned for next time. The second hunt of this badge quest was done off stream, so there's not as much story or context to it. I was listening to some music though, and the song Pink by Aerosmith was on, so I said this. Well, I'm due to find a pink shiny now. This was kind of insane foreshadowing on my part. I was singing during most of this hunt, so I'm just gonna mute my singing for the sake of you not having to listen to how bad it is. Wait, is that it? Yay! Shiny Marie. This is turning into Absol's run. He got the same too. Oh my gosh. It's pink! I was listening to Pink. It's pink. How is that allowed on YouTube? It's pink! It's like red, but not quite. Aerosmith always finds a way into my shiny hunts. Yay! Woohoo! After getting the shiny, I decided I would take on Katie's gym. The first attempt, I actually lost this battle because I tried to use my shinies and they were just too low level. So, I decided I'd do some leveling up, and in the process evolved both my Shinx and Mareep, and took on the gym a second time. From this point onward, I started to follow the game's suggested order, so battling became less of an issue. From Badge 3 forward, I decided I'd occupy my layout a bit more by taking screenshots of the leader or the Titan's type for the upcoming badge, just so people in chat would have some kind of idea of what I was up to, since not a lot of people seem to know what a badge quest is. For Badge 3, I decided I'd try using a sandwich for the first time. I wasn't using a sparkling power boost just yet, as I still didn't consider asking other people to help out. I was using a flying encounter boost sandwich in hopes of a flying type to help me out in the grass gym that was coming up. Specifically, I was hoping for Oricorio, since it would give me a fire type that could also change between 3 other types as needed. Unfortunately, the shiny I found wasn't Oricorio, nor was it even a flying type. Whoa! That's not a flying type. That's a grass type. What? Okay. I won't complain. A shiny's a shiny. Welcome to the team. Or not. Oh my gosh, I am going to... I don't want to attack. I want to just throw Pokeball. 1 shake, 2 shake, 3 shake. Caught it. Cool. So, thank you for your participation in the layout. we are going to be switching that over to Go-Go. If I can find it. I just saw it. There. That's not Go-Go, that's Skiddo. That's probably why I had issues finding it. There we go. Would I like to give it a nickname? Why, yes, I would. Oh my gosh. Ramen, but Ram. Even after naming the shiny, I would continue to be unsure how to pronounce it. Ramen makes more sense in a way since it was named for the food, but Ram is in caps, so perhaps Ramen makes sense? I don't know. Feel free to argue in the comments over how it should be said. Anyways, I was in a bit of a pickle now by not having anything good on my team. All of my party was resisted by the grass type, so I had to look into what few TMs I could craft this early. Fortunately, I was able to teach my Luxio Fire Fang, and with a few level ups, I was ready to take on this gym. Another interesting theme that would carry through most of this playthrough is me beating gyms pretty easily. For the fourth hunt of this quest, I decided to test out another type of hunt, outbreaks. Something that will become a theme going forward is that I seem to always have coverage for the next badge by the time I'm hunting, so I typically would just plan ahead with hunts. My two electric types had me confident I could beat this Sky Titan with ease. Fortunately for me, this hunt started and ended in the same stream as the third badge. Oh! Shiny! We got one! That's another shiny. Let's go. I got my dumpling. Luigi content. I'm invisible. So we're naming this one Luigi content, right? No, Hentai Golf was the last one. This is Luigi content, right? We name it Luigi. Does that fit? Luigi. I don't know if that'll fit. Content. That fits perfectly! It's Luigi content! Remember how I said earlier to remember the Luigi content? Hopefully you remembered, because this is why. Going back to what I said earlier about the hunts and my coverage, it'll become pretty obvious going forward that I will eventually have coverage for pretty much everything, and I'll be able to get with most anything to add to the team. The 5th shrine for this badge quest was a pretty short hunt. I was only live for around 30 minutes by the time I got it. This stream environment was a bit of an interesting one. Up to this point, I typically stream my hunts at night, but for this stream I decided to do something rarer than finding a shiny. I streamed during the day. It was the 4th of July and there weren't many plans for my family, so I figured I'd use this time to chip away at the quest. Do I get a table this time? No. What determines if you get a table then? Or is this some weird glitch I'm having? Oh my gosh! Shiny Mudbray! That was so quick! And that's what I wanted too! No way! Shiny Mudbray. Pregnancy? What? No! Wait! You did that on purpose, didn't you? Did you say pregnancy so I would have to name this that? Was that your intention of saying pregnancy? Did you see that before I said anything, so you said pregnancy, or did you just happen to say pregnancy? What gen is Mudbray? Gen 7? I think it's Gen 7. I will know when I find it. Yes, it is. Fortunately, Mudbray is what we were wanting, so we take it. Okay, I'll move image 3 over to the current area. You don't get to see that yet. Okay, bye, you're outside. Okay. As far as the battle goes, I was fortunate that I had found Makuhita, the badge prior to this one, so I had some coverage for the Team Starbase. The 6th hunt started and finished the same stream as the 5th, even occurring in the same hour as it. I was doing terror raids between the hunts to get some experience candies and level up my team, and happened to spot a shiny. Oh my gosh, you're kidding. You're kidding me, right? That's... How? What? What? That is so quick. That is so quick. What? I need to download this one because I don't have anything from gens past 7. I was gonna say 8, but I don't have 8 either. Alright. We can change it now. That is tiny. Okay, there we go. I will hide you, move you over. That's not what I wanted to move. Move you over and shrink. Boom. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm so used to seeing pink pigs that I genuinely forgot that this was the shiny coloring. I also thought this was the female for some reason. I decided to go for the Peppa Pig themed name, since that's something I often thought of when seeing this line's shiny colorations. Unfortunately, Oinkalone won't get to see too much use in the future, as it's just a normal type. Iona's gym was honestly kinda tough for the obvious reason of our last Pokemon, Miss Magius, being a Terra Electric while having the ability Levitate. I ended up relying on my Makuhita to power through this fight, as it was the only thing I had at this point that was able to do the damage I needed. Luckily, the rest of the game was uphill from here. For the 7th shiny, I decided that I'd try to get a bit more coverage for the next badge. I already had 2 Pokemon with ground moves, but I wanted to make sure I was prepared, so I decided I'd target an outbreak of Marill. This hunt would start a double trend for the majority of the quest to come. The first being outbreak hunts not ending in the shiny I was hunting, and the second being a theme of hunting Marill but not getting it. This shiny was the third in one day, however, it also took a while, and ended up being at the end of a nearly 6-hour stream. You didn't realize it was me until now? Wow. Is that a shiny? No, that's another electric type. We don't need this. I was hunting Marill! No, I'm sorry, child. I love you, Wheel. Not tonight. Tonight? It's not even nighttime yet. You thought it was that one stupid Mario Party YouTuber? What does that mean? What? That was like Falcon something? This was probably the worst outcome for this badge due to the steel typing, but it wasn't as bad considering the Pokemon I already had. Something else I should probably mention are the images on my layout. My mod sent me a couple of images that they thought I should add to the layout, so that's where they came from. This isn't going to be a theme, and I actually was slacking as I originally said I'd remove them right after I found a shiny. Maybe in the future I'll ditch the traditional layout and have some kind of way to have chat request images to be added. I wasn't sure what to hunt at this point in the badge quest, so I started to just roam until something was shiny. I stopped at the first Bramblin I saw as I wasn't sure if it was shiny or not, but little did I know, I'd find out how well I could spot one in just a few minutes. You're gonna force feed me a sandwich? Do I need to bring in ingredients? Because I have, like, nothing. I'm a Mimikyu. Okay, I'm actually fine with that. I love Mimikyu. Would you actually force feed me a sandwich so I can hunt with sparkling power? Is there a way you could do that? Hook me up with a sparkling power sandwich or something? He loves me, he loves me not. Ew, a straight person. You can bring ingredients. Okay. What the? Car accident. No need! No need! We don't need a sandwich! Oh my gosh! Shiny Bramblin! What? Already? What? We are only... Not even 10 minutes, because I had to wait. That's like 7 minutes in. 7, 8 minutes. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting that. What are we gonna do now? That was not expected. I also evolved some more members of my team, now having Mudsdale, Magneton, Luxray, and Hariyama. Some of them were evolved already, but I just forgot to mention them. I'm not going to be showing evolutions anymore just for the sake of time, but just note that I'm not playing through this game with unevolved Pokemon. I was about to use my ground types for this Titan until I was told about Orthworm's ability, so I ended up having to rely on my Luxray's Fire Fang and Hariyama's fighting type moves for this one. The ninth hunt was another one where I just accepted anything to add to my team, until this happened. Oh my god! Luigi content too! Yay! It's Luigi content! Do we count this? I think we count it. I mean, it's a shiny for the badge, and it would look funny in a thumbnail. Luigi content too. Mild nature. We got a second one! No way! As I mentioned in the intro, it was agreed that I would only count a shiny if it was unique, which this was not. So, I moved on to another area to hunt another shiny, something I expected to take a while. That was until I found the real 9th team member. So, I'm kind of upset because that was a quick shiny, which means this is probably now going to take forever to actually find a shiny for the badge. There was an evacuation at July 4th event last night, and we can't tell if an idiot with a gun or idiot with fireworks. Oh my god! You are freaking kidding me. Oh my god, you are freaking kidding me. Where'd it go? You are freaking kidding me. Shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2 is the greatest thing ever. That is 3 shinies within 47 minutes. And this is full odds. I don't have the charm. I'm not using an encounter. I'm not using a shiny boosting sandwich. This game is insane. And I don't have any boosts. Like, this is full odds. So, if this is going insanely quick full odds, I can't imagine how it's gonna go with charm when I get that eventually. I'm not naming it Bird with a Gun. Bird with a Gun. I need to find Flamigo to download. I didn't type flamingo. Why does it assume I meant flamingo? Yes, thank you. That's not even... I wasn't personally bothered by getting a Flamigo here, since I already had 3 electric types and 2 grass types for Kofu's water type. Since Bramblin is one of the special evolutions in this game that requires it to walk a certain number of steps, and this was a gym challenge that required a fair amount of walking around, I decided I'd use the time to walk with my Bramblin and try and evolve it. The battle itself ended up being pretty easy, but that was expected when 5 Pokemon in the party were strong against the gym typing. Despite a poison type being next, I was confident in my current team with a steel type and a fair amount of ground moves. I initially used an encounter powered dark sandwich to try and get a Murkrow, but the time of day changed mid-hunt, so I needed a backup. I decided I would ask for help and had a sparkling power fairy sandwich made to isolate Curlia by Levincia. Not too long after starting the hunt, I ended up finding one. Unfortunately, due to my own stupidity, I forgot it could teleport, and ended up failing it. I was going to reset to the save prior, but was encouraged to just keep hunting, that way I could make full use of the boost. The worst case being I just reset back to the save and catch the one prior if I didn't find anything else. Fortunately, I didn't need that, as I found a second one almost right after. I'm not about to just waste that. Okay, good. So, worst case scenario, we can just go back and catch... We don't need to! That's another one! It's a girl! 5 shinies in one stream! We didn't get the other one, but I do not care. I'd much rather have a girl Curlia. That's not sexist. I promise. That is just me wanting a female Gardevoir. I don't have much to say for this badge as far as the fight goes, other than I tried to make use of Curlia, but a mix of poor defense and low level led to it getting knocked out more often than not. But I made it through. Something I found kinda cool is that now there were only 8 badges left, meaning it wasn't far off from a normal 8 badge game. For the 11th badge, I decided to try my luck at the local Dunsparce outbreak. The idea of getting a possible 3-segment to Dunsparce was so cool. But if the Magnemite tells us anything, then obviously I wouldn't get one. Not even a chance at one. Giant locusts? Oh! It happened again. That's not even what we're hunting. Red ball of yarn. This does not match at all, but I'm still trying it. I mean, when it evolves... Well, this isn't Nimble, though, so it's not going to be low kicks. So it's not actually going to be Giant Locust. It's going to be Giant Spider. Giant enemy spider? That's right. Yet another outbreak hunt where I didn't get my target. This tarantula would suffer a rather unfortunate fate that comes with being found at this point in the badge quest. Unfortunately, this thing didn't get to see much use in battle, and only really got to be sent out to waste turns healing stronger members. Still one of the cooler shinies from this generation, and one I'm definitely glad to have. But of course, Tarantula wouldn't be my only shiny this badge. Of course, Scarlet and Violet would be hard to do, because, oh my gosh. Why he Orpal? Why he Orpal? Turns out the game really wanted me to find Shiny Mastiff too. Due to the rules set in place, this also wasn't fair game for the quest. While it was unique, it was found after already getting my shiny for the badge. Sadly, this Orpal dog didn't get to see battle aside from the one I caught it in. But it's still a nice shiny to find. The 12th hunt of this quest started right after finishing up with Larry's gym, but it didn't end that day. I decided I wanted to get myself a dark type still, and figured the fire typing wouldn't be a bad thing to have too. So, I decided to hunt for Houndour. Apparently this line is better to hunt for in the Kitakami area, but I hadn't started the DLC yet, and didn't plan to until after the badge quest. So the early route cave would have to do. This hunt took quite a while, taking up nearly the entirety of the next stream. I had help again with making a sparkling power sandwich, and was already coordinating to get another as the current boost was about to end. Fortunately, I got a last minute shiny to end the sandwich. I think either would work, right? Dark or fire, both would isolate the typing. Whichever one would work better. Wait, that's it. Stay there. We found it. Let's go. It's a... I can say that because it's a female dog. And this is PG-13. Thank you. Thank you for the sandwich. Thank you for the sandwich. Praise, praise, praise. On. I should note here that I've never actually played Nintendogs before. I've heard a lot about it and how it supposedly got a sequel on 3DS with Cats 2. Maybe I'll consider playing the games at some point. If anyone's an expert on these games, let me know if I should and what I should know going into it. Oh, and I also found a shiny Persian here. This one also didn't count for the same reason as the mass chip I found earlier, but again, still a nice shiny to have. The next shiny was found in an offline session, similar to Mareep. This time, I was binge watching Phineas and Ferb, and I was on the episode where they were becoming one-hit wonders when I found the shiny. Is that shiny? Yes, it is. I don't know what I'm talking about. So clearly shiny. Sweet. What episode are we on? We're almost done with episode 4. Okay. I'll let this wrap up. Well, I'm naming this. Okay, I was watching Phineas and Ferb. I'm trying to catch up because season 5 just came out recently. I hope I'm unmuted actually. Okay, yes I am. I did not check that. Yeah, season 5 came out like last month. So I'm trying to watch through the whole show, the 2 movies, all the specials and everything. So that way I'm ready for watching all those episodes. I named it PFT after Phineas and the Ferb Tones, which was the band name they came up with. For this Titan battle, I just stuck to my other members that had better coverage at this point, mainly Hariyama for the terra-fighting boost it could get. I like this Titan's idea of giving you another exposure to the Paradox Pokemon, which in a way is a setup for the future events in the story. Surprisingly, not long after I finished the session with the Citadel, I found yet another shiny. Oh yeah, let's go. Shiny Choodle. That was pretty quick. That's like, how many minutes into this episode? 7 minutes almost? I mean, like, this is the exact same day. I don't have this one downloaded. I forgot this isn't my old computer. Exact same day session even as the last shiny, which was Citadel. Honestly, I was kind of happy to have this shiny. I really like Dreadnought shiny, and I get heavy Bowser vibes from it. I never got around to hunting this line in Sword and Shield, as whenever I initially tried hunting for it, I ended up going over 2,000 encounters. Maybe someday I'll revisit that hunt, just for the fun of it. This next shiny doesn't really have too much to it. I decided to do a late night hunting session since I was in the mood, and not too long into stream I found my 15th member. I was a bit confused by that. I was like, huh? I was confused if you were... Oh my gosh, that's a shiny bayonet. And I was just sitting there. You're here at a great time. You get to see the first shiny of the stream. Oh, I forgot they did new textures. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love the texture on this. It actually looks like cloth. You're losing your voice? Oh no. That sucks. I named this one after a Persona 4 character, as that's my favorite game. And then I went to take on the Ice Gym. This gym was almost too easy, given I had multiple Pokemon at my disposal that could take out the Ice type. Not to mention, Ice as a type is very frail and not that great. I really hope it gets some more buffs, and perhaps even Frostbite returning as a status. Grusha has honestly probably grown on me the most since this game's released, and honestly might even be my favorite gym leader in the game now. I kinda wish it were possible to actually go snowboarding with him at some point. Before I get to the next reaction, I need to talk about the pure chaos that occurred during this hunt. When I sat down to do the late night stream session, I originally only planned to be live around 2 to 3 hours like I normally did at the time. When that time came, however, the stream was suddenly starting to do really well. I had probably one of my most active chats, and it turned into a kind of party. I still had plenty of energy to push through the stream, so it went on to be what we now refer to as the 7-hour stream. This was the stream that actually kind of kicked off my channel's growth from almost nothing to where it is right now. I genuinely can't thank you all enough for this. Unfortunately, the cost for this event was my luck. This hunt took around 5 hours of the 7-hour stream, the entirety of 2 streams averaging 2 hours and 40 minutes each, and then about 4 more hours of stream before I found it. So I'm just playing it safe. Now, if I end up... Oh my gosh, that's a shiny. Finally! No, wrong one. Wrong hamster. Wrong hamster. Come back. Shiny hamster. Another outbreak hunt that didn't give me the shiny I hunted. That is amazing timing. Oh my gosh. I knew it paid off to do extra hours. You deserve luxury, my friend. Okay. I was gonna say I'm gonna name it Pete Block. Maybe not that name, but Pete or something. And maybe it's something where as long as I'm only playing Switch 1 software with it, it's fine. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But anyways, that brings us one shiny closer. And, fun fact, there is only one encounter hunt left. At the time, this was my longest hunt of the quest. That's honestly kind of crazy. I was doing a deerling outbreak at the time I found the shiny, and big surprise, I didn't get a shiny from the outbreak. Instead, I found a shiny Palmy and named it Peat Block, as someone in my chat was playing Legends Arceus at the time and found a Peat Block right as the shiny spawned. Surprisingly, for only 3 Pokemon lines in this game evolving through taking steps, I managed to find a shiny from 2 of them. Fortunately, this hunt would put an end to my curse of outbreak hunts not ending in the shiny I initially wanted, which I kinda wish would have ended sooner, since a 4th electric type wasn't the best for the team. For the penultimate hunt of this quest, I went for a local Psyduck outbreak. I figured eventually I'd have to get something I wanted from an outbreak hunt, and I figured it wouldn't hurt to go for a Psyduck. There were plenty of things around that I didn't mind adding to the team instead, so it seemed like the perfect hunt to go for. Fortunately for me, this hunt didn't take so long, and even ended with the target I had in mind. She'll just start meowing like crazy. Is blue! Is blue! Let's go! Shiny Psyduck. Psyduck! I think Dive Ball is gonna look great on this thing. I don't know if it gets the boost. It gets the boost, I guess. That or being low level makes it easier to catch. I don't know how catching mechanics work. Major wooden chair? I don't know what wooden chairs have to do with this, but okay. Wait, hold on. Let me find this. Haha, I found the folders I have now. I had a folder inside my downloads folder named Downloads. And that has all the sprites. I think the reason why this has happened twice to me now is because these aren't like truly available online anymore. You have to download them through someone else's upload of it. So I think when they upload it, they just uploaded from their downloads folder or whatever. So that's why it's inside a separate downloads folder. That's my guess, at least. Alright. Do a bit of level grinding with the Chansey population just to help prepare my team for the upcoming Titan fight. The Titan Tatsugiri seemed a lot easier to find this time around, and I'm not sure if it was because I just knew where to find it at this point, or if the Switch 2 lets it spawn in way sooner than even normal Pokemon spawn. Regardless, I took on the last Titan, or should I say Titans, and helped Arvin restore his sick doggy. I honestly don't have a favorite of the Titans, but if I had to pick, I'd probably say the Cloth Titan just because how goofy the cutscenes can get. This last hunt was inspired by AbsolBlogsPokemon, who I will never stop glazing. I decided to follow his badge quest where he also hunted for a finisher Pokemon. This hunt was probably the longest, taking up 2 streams totaling roughly 13 hours, plus multiple hours of hunting off stream. I ultimately found the shiny during a recorded session. Oh my gosh! Shiny Sprigatito! Woo! Shiny Sprigatito! Oh my gosh! Let's go! Shiny Sprigatito. I named this shiny after one of my friend's cats. I believe all 3 of her cats are girls though, but Trixie, which is short for Trickster, seemed like such a good fit for a Meowscarada. I did do this last base off stream, but I was already scheduled to go live as a promise to chat that I would finish the game on stream. By the way, my favorite Team Star member is Giacomo. Music writers stick together. Just like how he wrote the Team Star battle theme in Universe, I made a lot of the music for this movie myself. Now that we've reached the end of the story, I wanted to take a moment just to share my thoughts on the game. Honestly, I'm very happy that they ended up doing this, because I've always wanted to enjoy Scarlet and Violet, but for the longest time, I was never able to due to their performance issues. The storyline is pretty enjoyable, and while the Victory Road format may be one that's done way too much in the series, and is honestly to be expected at this point, I really did enjoy the other side stories, and Arven's side story may actually be my favorite. I always end up feeling bad for the guy. I honestly think that Scarlet and Violet may be some of my favorite games now. Of course, Gens 5 and 7 will always be my favorite, but Generation 9 is definitely up in my top rankings when it comes to Pokemon games. Now that we've reached the end of the video though, I'd like to go ahead and use this time to thank you all for watching. Or just skipping. I don't mind. This project honestly took a long time. With the month it took to stream all these hunts, to the times I had to record things off stream, to editing the video, recording audio, and so much more. Of course, right in the middle of this, things came up, so I had to take a bit of a break. Sorry about that delay. And I guess one last thanks I'd like to give before I end is to AbsolBlogsPokemon. He inspired me to make Pokemon related content, and more so, a movie type video based on a playthrough of mine. I hope that in the off chance he encounters this video, that he doesn't mind that I'm basically ripping off his channel and ideas. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you next time, wherever my adventure may lead.